Good morning. Welcome to another Wesley Wednesday with Pastor Dave. Over the past few weeks, I have focused on the fact that Charles Wesley wrote lots of hymns on subjects that were important to him. For the Lord's Supper, he wrote over 166 hymns and 188 hymns on the Trinity. It's almost like he became somewhat obsessed with composing hymns and writing poems. By most estimates, Charles Wesley wrote about 9,000 hymns and poems during his lifetime. Dr. S.T. Kimbrough, Jr., who is an internationally known scholar and musician, he has devoted years of study of Charles Wesley. He edited a 4-volume collection of unpublished writings of Charles Wesley, which I am pleased to have in my library. Volume 1 is about the poetry of Charles Wesley. Volume 2, the hymns and poems on sacred scriptures. Volume 3, hymns and poems for church and world. And Volume 4, Charles Wesley, poet and theologian. A second resource which I have found valuable in my research for these weekly devotions is John Tyson's Assist Me to Proclaim the Life and Hymns of Charles Wesley. He writes the Wesleyan hymns are much more than background music for the Wesleyan revival. They are a central part of the event. Throughout his life, Charles was prone to poor health. Family responsibilities, illness, the tolls of travel, and issues within the Methodist movement caused him to rethink his ministry. He writes the following in a journal entry on August the 9th, 1751, at the age of 44. Preaching, I perceive, is not my principal business. God knoweth my heart and all its burdens. Oh, that he would take this matter into his hands, though he lay me aside like a broken vessel. Dr. Kimbrough writes, as a result, Charles turned his attention more directly to the task of writing hymns and sacred poems. Charles Wesley's largest single collection of biblical poetry was published in 1762 under the title Short Hymns on Select Passages of Scripture. This 2-volume work contained 2,349 hymns and poems based on passages from every book of the Bible. And in addition, there were hundreds more that were never published. Perhaps a dozen or so of these lyrics have made their way into hymn books. A Charge to Keep I Have is one such example. Now, in the words of John Tyson, this massive project and many more like it remind us that Charles Wesley was not unproductive as a Methodist minister and theologian, even though he gradually restricted his traveling and focused his efforts on his home, family, and the Methodist societies in Bristol and London. These poems are no less a Methodist commentary on Holy Scripture than the works of John Wesley himself. Now, over the coming weeks, I will reflect on some of these hymns and other poems of Charles Wesley. I look forward to what we may discover. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day, and I'll be back next Wednesday.